Well, we have some new pictures of the fall colors, and they are starting to become quite beautiful. And I don't know that we're quite at the peak yet, but probably before the end of the week or the beginning of next week, we'll be at the peak here on Melrose Mountain. But I thought you might enjoy seeing some of the colors. Some of the pictures Dawn took, our daughter. Some of the pictures my wife took. They went out in the pedal boat when the lake was dead still for the reflections on the water, and I think you'll enjoy the effort they went through to get you some pictures. Well, it's not a big lake, but it is a deep lake. It's about 12 acres in size, and it's about 35 feet deep. So it stays nice and clean. It does have a small spring feeding it, but not enough to keep it overflowing year round. So it depends on some runoff water. But it's certainly beautiful with all of the hardwood trees, the maples and the oaks showing their leaves. And I hope that you'll enjoy the days ahead as we continue to see the change of the leaves. And I think next week will probably be about the peak for our leaves this year, but we'll see. In any case, we're in Genesis chapter 19. It's really quite interesting, and I hope that you'll take the time to go back and read chapter 18, verses 20 and 21. When we find God saying, I've heard what's going on down in Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm going to go down and check it out for myself, and I'll know if it's so. Now remember, not only is he going to check out Sodom and Gomorrah, but he's also going to check to see about the righteous people living there, because he's promised Abraham he'll not wipe it out completely if there's any righteous people there. He got all the way down to 10. I'm not sure whether Lot's family was that large or not, but nevertheless, I think God, he will always spare even if there's one. So let's take a look at verses 1 through 7, and let's talk about this incredible visitation of God through two angels. And I think mainly not because he didn't already know, but mainly for Abraham and Lot's benefit. He wanted to show them exactly what was happening in Sodom and Gomorrah. Now the two angels came to Sodom in the evening as Lot was sitting in the gate of Sodom. When Lot saw them, he rose to meet them and bowed down with his face to the ground. And he said, Now behold, my lords, please turn aside into your servant's house and spend the night and wash your feet, and then you may rise early and go on your way. They said, however, No, but we shall spend the night in the square. Yet he urged them strongly, so that they turned aside to him and entered his house, and he prepared a feast for them and baked unleavened bread, and they ate. Before they lay down, the men of the city, the men of Sodom, surrounded the house, both young and old, and all of the people from every quarter. And they called to Lot and said to him, Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us, that we may have relations with them. But Lot went out to them at the doorway and shut the door behind him. And he said, Please, my brothers, do not act wickedly. I hope that you saw what I saw as I read through this, having reflected back on chapter 18, verses 20 and 21. God sent two angels down to check out Sodom and Gomorrah. Not for his benefit, he already knew. But for Lot and for Abraham, he wanted them to know what was going on. Number one, how wicked Sodom and Gomorrah really was. Number two, he verified that Lot was righteous. You see, he greeted these angels, gave them the kind of hospitality that they deserved. But much, much more than that, He warned them not to stay in the square. He knew how wicked the people were. And he knew that if he didn't warn them, that these would try to have relations with them out in the square. He stepped out of his own home, the comfort of his own place, shut the door behind him so that nobody could get in, and he told the people of Sodom how wicked they were. Yes, that really does confirm that Lot still had some righteousness in him. If I were going to preach a message on this, and I may well do that someday in the future, I would probably title it that Lot knew the wickedness of Sodom and Gomorrah. He was in Sodom and Gomorrah, but he wasn't like Sodom and Gomorrah yet. And that's one of the dangers that we have if we live in a wicked place, that we become like that place. Whoa, stop. Think about it. We are in a wicked place, and we've got to be so careful that we don't become like the world around us. We need to be separated. Not that we can't be in Sodom and try to change some of Sodom, but we've got to be careful we don't become like Sodom. And that's my thought for the day. God bless you and have a great day.